tell everyone about this show. I'm telling you, you're gonna want to be here. It's gonna lead to some very interesting questions, I promise you. I'm gonna be with you guys here in a minute. I just need a minute to set up this stream, and yeah, I'll be right back. Uh-oh, I did an oopsies. Give me 2 seconds, guys, and I'll have the music back for us here. You know what? No, I'm gonna need it for later. I'm gonna need it for later, so just give me a second. You guys, this is gonna be a pretty sick show. I just got some news in an old mailbox that I haven't looked at since clearly September. And there was some interesting messages in there that I missed out on, and man, I'd wish I'd seen them earlier. So yeah, stick around. This is gonna get pretty interesting. There we go. There we go. All right, let me bring down the tunes. Let me turn on the camera. Hello, everyone. What is shaking? You know them days when, you know, you got a plan going, you got chores, you got things to do, and you just get some really cool, crazy, confirming kind of news. Oof, boy, oh boy. Yeah, okay, so hello, happy Saturday, welcome to Lou Reviews. My name's Lou. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Simon Fly. Hello, the birthday boy. Hello, Jay Roach. Hello, Renee Cruz. Thank you for the shout out. Listen to Renee Cruz. Hit that like button. It's free. Hello, Lou. Fessler is the biggest, dumbest douche on YouTube. Literally, I hate that lazy clown. Oh boy. We might have some things in common there. Simon Fly with Shake and Brandy Phillips. Hello. Lord Ludacris. Welcome. Fraser Johnstone. Thank you so much. Tony Mahoney, who was second behind Renee Cruz, but thanks for the enthusiasm. I'm going to figure out a way to display comments on this stream. You know, it'll come. Lou comes from loser. Hilarious, Carl Amsterdam. I'm guessing you're a Thomas Fessler fan. Just wait. Just wait. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring down the tunes even more a little bit on my end as well. Okay. Where do we start? I think I'll save the Thomas Fessler stuff for last because it's pretty damn good. And I also want them to give them an opportunity to email me and respond to the stuff that I have, that they know I have. Gary should be going through his email here pretty soon. If anybody knows Thomas Fessler on Twitter, hit him up. Let him know that he's got about an hour and a half to hit me up on email to see if there's a good reason to not share this email that I got in a public account from his producer last September. Ijamat, thank you so much for the $4 euro. Hippo character smacks his hands onto his face and looks around to see if anyone saw what he just saw. Oh boy, yes indeed. So, and I also got a recording of a little bit of behind the scenes from their show. Oh man. The walls are crumbling. Here we go. All right, so let's switch show panels here. Here we go. That's my regular email. All right. So let's go to my bookmarks as usual. Of course, if you guys haven't already, like, share, subscribe to the show. If you want to support the show with the almighty dollar, the Patreon link is in the description below. Really quick, I want to also thank, we've got some new members here to the channel. So I want to say hello to them. And again, these are my personal stats, so I have no issues whatsoever showing you these stats. So Lisa Garlano, thank you for re-signing up and rejoining. Plum Plizier, thank you so much for joining 2 days ago. And of course, Dana Shadell has been a member for 2 months. We've got 15, 20 members. So if you want to be a member, please consider it. All right. And I believe that's a green button somewhere down there. Anyway. So let's get to the original thing I was going to talk about, which was, well, there's a few things. So Jeremy Corbell has really been dropping a whole bunch of stuff. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was this clip right here. And again, let me go ahead and just kill the music. Give me 2 seconds here. Where is it? Where did I put that window? Oh, I put it right here. Okay, there we go. All right, do that. We'll pause that, and then we'll go back to this. Okay, so let's turn you up. You are turned all the way up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is Andy McGrillen and that really popular That UFO podcast. Hair character doing a dance classic. Thank you very much with the mic drop, Pat Calabria, and the $5 donation. This is the most popular, most influential, most upstanding and sought after and respectable UFO podcast out there. It considers itself a science podcast, which it is absolutely not. Ufology is not a science. So that's red flag number 1 with That UFO podcast. They've been asked many times by me to show their Patreon numbers and how much money they make a year, just like I've done. They have still yet to do that. I said back in last September that these guys were in cahoots with Lou Elizondo and a whole bunch of other folks to basically blacklist my show and blacklist the Big Phone Home. And I think this email here from Gary, the producer of Disclosure Tonight, confirms again that hunch, that seeing of red flags, was 100% right on. And so we'll get to that again in a second. So here's, again, the issue with this show is like, look, I don't have a problem that people believe. You want to believe whatever you want, go for it. The second you start calling it science, the second you start touting that they're facts, that's when I'm going to come in and say something. That's when I'm going to come in and question your motivation for the questions that you don't ask, that you don't ask. And the reason why you don't ask these questions is because if you did, if you asked the questions on the same red flags that I saw, that I know you guys also see, you would not be getting interviews. Gosh, where did it go? Why does it do that? So stupid. That UFO podcast would not be getting sit downs with Jeremy Corbell and Tim Burchett. Again, this is another reason why Jeremy Corbell should be called into Congress. And there's even another reason in what he says in this clip. It is absolutely ridiculous, but here we are. Here we are. And so you'll see that there's zero pushback to the claims that are made in this. And man, there are some big claims. So let's just go ahead and play it, and you guys, we can break it down as we go through it. And let me go ahead and just say the typical fair use. This is transformative work. We are educating the public and critiquing the videos we are sharing. This is covered under fair use and allowable by law. Pat Calabria, thank you so much again for that donation. Oh, 2 donations. Wow. Holy cow. Is that 2 donations? Anyway, let's see here. We're still streaming, right? Okay. Cool. All right. So here we go.
I was denied footage.
Let me lower this just a little bit for you guys so it doesn't blow your ears out. Sorry about that.
I was denied footage, or well, we were told there was going to be footage and a secure briefing, and that was very clear that it actually it was undeniable what it was, and you could actually see the structure up close, and then when we got there, we were denied that, and then they brought in the pilots, and they, and you could tell the spooks in the room, the CIA or whoever they were very nervous over what they were saying to us, and I felt like maybe they were suppressed over what they could speak, and so that's the kind of thing we're up against.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see any of these comments coming up, and I thought maybe somebody had killed my live stream. Again, you guys, sorry. I'm gonna go over this video again. Just go ahead and subscribe to the Twitch. The link is in the description below in the link tree, just in case something goes wrong with this stream. You guys could hop over there and catch the rest of the show, or rewind it, or catch it at your leisure, because Twitch is a lot better with they just don't cut off streams like they do sometimes here on YouTube. And I know that the information I'm about to talk about, they're not going to want to hear this. So anyway, sorry. Let's go back to because I wasn't paying attention. So I want to go back again.
I was denied footage, or well, we were told there was going to be footage and a secure briefing, and that was very clear that it actually it was undeniable what it was, and you could actually see the structure up close.
Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to stop on, and I knew I had missed it. This is a video I want to play for you guys because I don't think Tim Burchett is lying when he says he saw a video. I don't think he's lying when he says that. But when it comes to let's see here, what I think he saw, or what is similar to what I think he saw. Sorry, I just listened to a whole bunch of Joy Division songs here recently, and so their stuff is in my playlist here. Where is it? Dude, definitely was before this. Let me see if it's in my liked videos. Here's one I definitely wanted to show you. Let's just check this one out real quick. Again, this is just a missile. And keep in mind, this is from 10 years ago. This is 2012 that this missile test went off. Oh, this is a great scene, but that's not what I wanted to play. So this is a Brahmos D32 29. I guess that's the model missile, and this is July 2012 in Ring Road. Check out what this missile does. Check this out. Boom. And then watch this. Whoop. All of a sudden there's no flame plume. Like, this thing launches in like 3 or 4 different stages. I love how you guys are going through like the stuff that I watch, all the golf channels and stuff. I mean, this is incredible. This is incredible that we had technology like this 10 years ago. Imagine what it's doing today. Look at this. So the part that is absolutely awesome is that it separates from that main thruster, and then boom, look what you got left. Looks kind of like a Tic Tac, doesn't it? Looks kind of like a Tic Tac, doesn't it? And keep in mind that this can be launched from anywhere, including from underneath the ocean. Transmedium object doing a right angle turn at speeds a human could not withstand. I saw an orb fall from it. Like, this fits a ton of descriptions. Look at that thing. There's no flame. There's no smoke trail. If you didn't know any better, this looks like a UAP or a UFO. So let's do also this. Missile filmed from cockpit. And I put this, thank you guys for the donation, Stone Apex, for the $5 donation. Red Pan Koala is a baddie who hasn't been able to use your live chat in months. Lou, por qué? Me and Red Panda are going to have to talk face to face before I let him in my stream again or into my life. Like, yeah, he's going to have to answer some questions from me face to face on some of the things that I've just seen, just stuff that he's defended, and I'm very confused by. So, short answer to that question, Stone Ape. Thank you for the donation. Now, Carl Amsterdam, $3 euro. Sorry, dude. I don't know what you're sorry about. Don't be sorry. Everything's fine. Let me see here. So, where is this thing? Missile film from, I know when I Googled it. You know what? What am I doing? I totally have this on my profile. Do. That's not it. Do. Where are you? Video, where are you? It was actually in response to that. Let's just go media, because in the media I should be able to find it faster. Okay, so here it is right here. All right, so look at this missile that they're filming from a cockpit. Look at this thing. There's no fire, there's no smoke, or what appears to be no fire, no plume whatsoever from this object. And this is really close. This is really close. Imagine putting it just 10, 15, 20 feet away farther from the cockpit. You might not see these fins, especially if they're painted the same color as this object. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Tic Tac City, baby. This looks like a Tic Tac UFO all the way. And I think this is what Congressman Burchett is seeing in some of the classified skiffs that he's being brought into. I think he's seeing tech. I think the military commanders are giving him tech, and maybe even some of it really high tech, because look how small these fins are. And this is from 8 years ago. 8 years ago. I imagine these things get smaller. Or again, if it's just a little farther away. Like, so when the congressman says things like this,
that it actually, it was undeniable what it was. And you could actually see the structure up close. And
you could actually see the structure up close. So everything that we've heard about UFOs, especially when it comes from Bob Lazar and when it comes from George Knapp and when it comes from all of the experts, including Lou Elizondo, there's no flight services. There's no seams. Bob Lazar said it looked 3D printed. It doesn't look like there's any screws anywhere. This guy's seeing structure. So that leads me to believe that it's not alien. You shouldn't see structure on any part of this thing. From all the accounts that we've gotten, very few, if I've ever heard, have structure to it. I mean, mine felt like, yeah, I mean, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe not. I'll give him that. But to get confused with something like this when you don't know what it is, I think is very possible. So when he sees stuff like this in a skiff, and maybe the newer version of this, I think it's very possible for someone like a Congressman Tim Burchett to get confused, especially when I mean, for God's sakes, Jeremy McGowan put it perfectly. Tim Burchett claimed that the IC blocked his UAP amendment. Then McGovern, who is the staffer, let the world know that Burchett himself voted against his own amendment with a picture and everything. It was pretty damn embarrassing. Then Tim Burchett claims NASA backed out of the hearings. Then NASA lets us all know that they were never invited. And we're going to go over that video in a second, too. Burchett claimed Fravor shot the Tic Tac video when everyone knows that's not the case. It was Chad Underwood. So that's another thing that Tim Burchett got wrong. Burchett is not who you want leading this process. He, his staff, and his advisors are all misinformed. So it makes sense that Tim Burchett saw something very similar to this, got confused, and thought it was a real UFO that crashed at Roswell, and that's like in the Bible. And really, it's not. It's just top secret classified material that maybe somebody's telling him that's what it is, so that way he doesn't blurt his big mouth in public about the kind of tech we have. Is that plausible? And then this clip gets even more interesting because boy, oh boy, Jeremy Corbell, he can't be outdone. He also knows exactly what Tim Burchett is talking about. He's seen it himself.
It was undeniable what it was. And you could actually see the structure up close. And then when we got there, we were denied that. And then they brought in the pilots, and they, and you could tell the spooks in the room, the CIA or whoever they were very nervous over what they were saying to us, and I felt like maybe they were suppressed over what they could speak, and so that's the kind of thing we're up against.
I know what footage you were denied. I know what footage you were denied, and it does exist.
I know what footage you were denied. I know what footage you were denied, and it does exist. After he just explained that he saw this footage in a skiff. So that means classified material has leaked to Jeremy Corbell. He should not have this material. He should not know what video Tim Burchett is talking about at all. So why is the federal government not knocking on the door of Jeremy Corbell? Shouldn't the FBI, NSA, CIA, and everybody and their mother be at that guy's door right now if he's getting classified information from skiffs? I mean, are you kidding me? He's either lying, or he's lying. And if he does have footage of what Tim Burchett is talking about, then it's not classified. And the military just played an unclassified video for a lawmaker. You talk about why would pilots and people risk their jobs? Why would intelligence community employees risk their jobs and their pensions to give a video like that to Jeremy Corbell? After what just happened to the guy that spilled government secrets on a Discord server? If this information was true, that Jeremy Corbell has classified information, again, classified information, he's seen it. He said it twice.
Over what they could speak, and so that's the kind of thing we're
Look,
up
he's just
against.
itching to get in.
I know what footage you were denied. I know what footage you were denied.
Oh, darn it.
I was denied.
Does exist.
Yeah, well,
It does exist.
You were denied. I know what footage you were denied, and it does exist.
Yeah, well, I would like to, maybe you and I could get together and I could specifically target some areas of our government where I could do that. And the beauty of Congress is we're the checkbook of government.
So let me get this straight. You could get together with Jeremy Corbell and discuss the targets of Congress, or are you going to discuss what you saw in a skiff with a fake journalist in a private phone call that anybody could maybe be listening to? This is why Eglin Air Force Base denied these idiots onto the base, if that's even true. Because, well, I'll show you in a second, Eglin Air Force Base denies that. NASA denies. They weren't even invited to the press briefing. And there's FOIAs going out from John Greenwald on those facts. So somebody's lying. Somebody's got it wrong. I wonder who that is. Could it be the guy who screamed about his own bill that he voted on and created getting denied? The guy who thinks David Fravor filmed the Tic Tac? The guy who believes aliens are in the Bible? Or the decorated Air Force Base general? You guys are putting a lot of eggs in your Tim Burchett, Jeremy Corbell basket. So a skiff is a secret compartment in the Pentagon. It's basically a room, Tony Mahoney, where you go into. You can't bring in your cell phone. You can't bring in an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or anything. And it's a room that is completely separate. It's got its own internet. It's got its own way to communicate with sometimes the White House. And it is I'm forgetting what the acronym means, but essentially, yeah, it is a compartmentalized room where you could talk about classified stuff where it's guaranteed it's not going to get out. There's not going to be a hack of the phones. There's not going to be a hack of the computer system, or anybody listening in to what you're saying. So it is a completely, you have to have a classified badge and a classified classification to get into a skiff, or you have to be invited into it and go through a whole bunch of security checks. So that's the only way you get in the skiffs, or if you're a lawmaker and you sit on proper committees that let you into these skiffs. But again, Tim Burchett does not. He only sits on the House Oversight Committee. That committee does not have access to the most classified material within the U.S. military arsenal. They just do not. That'd be the House Armed Intel Services Committee. The House Armed Services Committee would have that kind of power and that kind of leeway to or access to see even more classified things than Tim Burchett is seeing. And I think even in those settings, Senator Gillibrand, Rubio, I think because there's no answers, or because they're not getting answers, or because they're not educated on the topic enough, they go into some of these skiffs, they see missiles like that with no wings and no whatever and no plume, and they're told, oh, this could be alien. And then they come out and they start writing bills that start looking at that part of the sky. And the whole time, it wasn't to look at aliens. It was to get budgets, military contracts, and more toys. More toys. More toys to look at that part of the sky that needs to be looked at, in all fairness. Again, like, it's a vulnerable piece of the sky that our enemies are taking advantage of. But I think the only way they could get funding for it is to make up this UFO thing. And I think the residuals of that, the not blowback, but sort of the opportunities that trickle off of that in terms of independent government contracts that you and your buddies get to fatten your pensions and your incomes, that's also a little bonus, a little icing on the cake. So you get to save the country. You probably get a medal in secret. Nobody's ever going to hear about it. And you brought attention to a piece of the sky, all while lying and taking advantage and spreading a whole bunch of stuff about people that you just don't like. Or that was your job. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah. So, okay. Let's see here. What else did we want to talk about? So this is very interesting that
who, by the way, did come to me early.
Don't want to do this clip. It's too long. I'm just so tired of Jeremy Corbell. Okay, so John Greenwald tweeted, I'm getting the feeling the best part of next week's UAP hearing is playing out before the hearing even takes place. These chain of events have prompted me to file numerous FOIA requests and now MDR requests in the past 48 hours to numerous agencies. This is fun. The newest development is the Pentagon, on behalf of Eglin Air Force Base, responded to the allegations that Representative Tim Burchett and real Anna Paulina Luna, were denied access to UAP information during a briefing. It was stated, Eglin Air Force Base supported a visit from Representative Gates, Burchett, and Luna on February 21st. Air Force officials provided a classified briefing on intelligence collection threats to Eglin Air Force Base during their visit. So essentially, UAP, Air Force, like the things that they've seen over their Air Force Base that look weird, possible threats, and that's what they got shown. The Congress members halted the briefing and requested instead a briefing focused on unidentified aerial phenomena. Base officials responded to present additional available classified information on UAPs to all three members, but were only able to discuss a certain portion of the information with Representative Gates, a member of the House Armed Services Committee. Representative Burchett and Luna, not being members of a Congressional Defense Committee, did not possess the access required to join the portion of the discussion reserved for Representative Gates. And why is Representative Gates telling those congressmen about things he shouldn't be telling them about? Like, as a member of the Congressional Armed Services Committee or the House Armed Services Committee, he shouldn't be sharing that information with Burchett and Luna that don't sit on that committee. And I've been saying this for months, that Burchett does not sit on any committees that have access to this information. I've said it a billion times. And here you have it from Eglin Air Force Base. That's a direct quote. This statement above reveals essentially two briefings were given on February 21st on one intelligence collection threats and another on UAPs, which is only a portion was able to be given to Matt Gaetz. So even Matt Gaetz only gets a portion of some of this intelligence because Matt Gaetz is an idiot. Sorry. Not sorry. All right. This is also, well, let me, before I get to that and that back garbage. So this is Representative Luna saying the level of backtracking and attempt at saving face from the Pentagon, DOD, and United States Air Force is unreal. Ref Eglin Air Force Base, my office specifically reached out to Eglin Air Force Base for a briefing for the other members who will be at the hearing this upcoming week, to include Democrats on UAPs, and they denied that request and offered to brief us on Space Force instead. The fact is they're not being transparent. They know it. We know it. The world knows it. The fact is you don't sit on a committee where you are privy to get answers to those questions you're asking. And even if you did, it would have to be in a classified briefing, not a public congressional hearing. You silly, silly lawmaker. Okay, so where is Dan Warren's wonderful question to NASA, which I thought did I not? I thought I did. Man, dude, I always seem to do this. I don't know what's going on with these. Where is Dan Warren? Oh. Where are you, Danny? Well, I know I retweeted it, that's for sure. Might not have. Of course, I retweet like 12 billion things. Here we go. Maybe I did see that. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So Dan Warren asked NASA and Senator Bill Nelson and NASA Earth, why did you back out of the July 26 House Oversight Committee hearing on UAPs? This is an opportunity to be transparent with the American people. Thank you for your answer. Thank you for your answer, and I continue to look forward to your parallel investigation on UAPs. To which NASA responded, NASA was not requested to participate in the United States House Committee's hearing on UAP. David Spergel, president of the Simons Foundation and chair of NASA's UAP independent study, was invited but declined to attend. Since the work of the independent study team is not due to be completed until later in the coming weeks, the report will contain a series of recommendations for NASA to better evaluate and categorize the nature of UAPs. You can learn more here. There you go. They were not invited. They were not invited. And also, they're doing an independent study. An independent study that should not be tampered or tainted with this spectacle, which is what this is turning out to be. Exactly what Christopher Sharp said, a spectacle of three witnesses that haven't seen anything except for David Fravor. And honestly, at this point, that could again be black tech. That could be black tech that he saw, because there's so many problems with his description of what happened. Primarily, the only other witness to it has a huge time difference and a huge description difference of what happened that day. And also, the other two pilots from that day have still yet to come out and come forward and say what they saw. Where are they? Where are the other two pilots that were with Commander Fravor and Alex Dietrich that day? Where are they at? I'd love to hear from them, because maybe that could add some more clarity. Maybe that could shut me up, right? That would be good, wouldn't it? I mean, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. You know, so far, two things that Tim Burchett and Luna had claimed in that press conference are incorrect. Not to mention the facts that they stated about UAPs and the people who filmed them. There's just so many things that these guys are getting wrong. So many things. This is also a great question from John Greenwald that he brought up, and I think this is probably the best question that's been brought up all week. Meet who I feel should have been the #1 witness for next week's UAP hearing. This is the Honorable Robert P. Storch, the current Department of Defense Inspector General. Inspector General that talked about and filed Lou's complaint. He should be called to address the DOD's IG's UAP evaluation that began in May of 2021. He should address the complaint submitted by Lou Elizondo through closed in February 2022. And the allegations he put forth about him getting targeted by people in the Pentagon. And he should be questioned about the DOD IG's investigation into David Grush's claims that were received in 2021. This one man could answer a heck of a lot, because it's his job to investigate all of the above. Why wasn't he called in? I'd love to hear from his investigation on what he found out about Lou Elizondo and the claims of him being harassed and targeted by Pentagon officials like Gary Reed. That's an excellent point. Excellent question and an excellent point. Unreal. Not unreal. I mean, this is par for the course, man. It really is. You know, apparently, I don't know who Chris Ramsey is. He's got 70,000 followers and he's best buddies with Jeremy Corbell. And Jeremy Corbell goes, "Whoa, Chris Ramsey. Hey, George Knapp and Dave Foley. What do you think of Chris? What do you think Chris has up his sleeves?" Chris Ramsey tweeted, "Next Friday, ... Area 52. Is this a movie? Is this a TV show? Is this a new podcast? Is this a new podcast of bullshit? What is this? What are we doing here, Chris Ramsey? What are we doing? And why is this guy promoting you?" I think at this point, anyone that Jeremy Corbell tells you to pay attention to, don't. It's pretty much unreliable. You can bet that there's no good information that's going to come out of it. Zero. Let's see here. Have I heard from anyone on the Thomas Fessler team? I gave them an email to hit me up on, and I still got nothing from them. Okay. So let's do this. Let's see here. So I'm gonna back out of this here real quick, and then let's see here. So let's turn this on here. Let's turn this off. All right. As you can see, I got a whole bunch of emails from people. Some I haven't opened, but this one caught my attention. Came with a video clip. And so this came September 2nd, 2022. And just to preface this is the producer of Thomas Fessler's channel. This is someone who attacked me viscerally and constantly and very loudly way before our final interview with Lou Elizondo. Him and Thomas Fessler were making up lies about my show. They were copywriting, striking stuff that they eventually lost. This show is the worst thing on YouTube. Hands down, the worst thing on YouTube. The hosts, the content. Again, somebody had mentioned how lazy Thomas Fessler is when it comes to reading information and disseminating it to, I guess, the masses that watch his show. He stole the format of my show. He even stole basically the opening tagline of UCR. Hello, good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon, and aloha. He just left out the aloha, and I think that's it. I mean, like, this dude, I've always gotten the weirdest vibes from Thomas Fessler. And Rob Heatherly, as everyone knows, had a big hand in revealing and blackmailing me for an apology to Lou Elizondo. He's the one who revealed my personal private messages. He was also part of this show, heavily part of this show for a while. I've heard they've split up, and this email is part of the reason why. So after our revelation of the sock puppets, after calling, the analogy with Rather's mom being a hooker, after all the hate, after the Big Phone Home 3, after all the things I said and all the things that happened to me and all the things I was angry and upset about and screaming at the top of my lungs about, because I just saw how wrong it was. I basically disconnected from this account. This is my Big Phone Home account at Gmail. And this is what I used when we were doing activism for the Big Phone Home. This is the email that we would use for that. And so I got this email September 2nd, 2022. And it's from Gary. So he says, "Hi, Lou. This is Gary. Who, by the way, started as a fan of my show and then went to viscerally hating my show. I know we've had our arguments in the past, but I have to tell you something. I was overhearing a couple of calls between Rob Heatherly and Lou Elizondo. They didn't know I was there, and they were both on a mission to bring down various YouTube channels. It was at this point I lost faith in Lou and realized I had been a pawn in his game. Being promised things, I was having trouble with another community destroying my life and pushing me into the brink of suicide many times, which is ridiculous. And I'm sorry to hear that. But he was told by them, I was told they would sort my issues if I helped them. So he was promised by Lou Elizondo and Rob Heatherly that they would sort out this community destroying his life. He then writes, "I'm an idiot. So I believed it, hoping that I would get closure on what had happened to me before. Turns out that was a total lie. Thomas was also promised bullshit things from Lou, too, that never transpired after being asked to go out and defend his family, defend him and his family, quote. So Lou Elizondo asked Thomas Fessler to go out to defend him and his family. All of those theories about Lou Elizondo asking people to attack other people is true here. This is the producer of the show. He still produces the show today. I was in their live chat. I told them to get in contact with me. Still haven't. I have a feeling I'll hear from them soon. I didn't want to hide this, and I sure as hell didn't want to use this as a, well, I'm going to reveal this if you guys don't do this, and this. There's more stuff I could have gotten out of this. But to me, this is enough. This is enough. Thomas won't reveal any of this because Rob has caused enough shit already. But I want you to know that Richard Butt was discussed too. And I did the thing that is very untrustworthy, something I shouldn't have done, but I didn't, but I did, as I didn't trust him. I recorded those conversations. So Gary Ack is sitting on a whole bunch of conversations, who's a foreign citizen, so he can release these anytime he wants without getting in trouble. So he has recordings of discussions about Richard Butt, and I'm wondering if in those discussions they reveal who he is and what they're doing behind the scenes, because we already got a private message from Rob Heatherly talking about how he doxes people for other people. And we asked the question, and we've heard zero from Rob Heatherly. Zero from Rob Heatherly. No, he has not responded to this allegation whatsoever. I wonder why. I wonder why all of a sudden Comagate 2 Electric Boogaloo doesn't matter to Rob Heatherly. Where's all your honor now, Mr. Heatherly? You want to talk about who you're doxing? Who are you doxing for? Well, I have a feeling we already know, thanks to this email. I have those conversations still on my computer. I'm unsure what to do about them. They will know it's me if it leaks out, but it also shows that you are absolutely correct on your recent show. They have been using us all to turn against each other, and it has worked. You will notice that we separated as far away from Rob as possible. He was looking people up, calling local authorities, and asking Lou to gather information on you all. I can't be around that shit. I'm not speaking on behalf of Disclosure Tonight or Thomas. I'm speaking this for me, myself, and I. Well, now you can answer the questions just like I had to. Ack, Gary, Disclosure Tonight, Thomas Fessler. I hate to break this to you. This sentence right here, I'm speaking on behalf of myself, not Disclosure Tonight. Not anymore. The same thing you guys did to me. Now it's time for you guys to be honest about what this email means. It's time for you guys to be honest about the information that you know about. It's time for you to be honest about how you dox people and how you attack people. It's right here in an email to me. This is serious. This is serious. And just wait till I show you what I got next. And I'm not even going to play the whole thing. I hate the way I spoke to you back then when we fought. I really do. And I do apologize. I really do. And just for the record, Gary, I accept your apology. But this apology means nothing if you hide and you shut up and you do what they tell you to do. The only move you have that I could possibly respect is to tell the truth. Come on my show. Let me interview you. Let me talk to you. And if Thomas Fessler wants to turn his garbage around and do the same, my doors are open. I'd love to talk to you guys because I have a feeling after today's show, that's it. You're out. You don't get to go back into the club. You're out of it now. And all of that propaganda and all of that championing of harassment that you guys have been doing behind the scenes through Sawan and King Milkfart and a whole bunch of other people, here it is right here. You've hit the crossroads, Disclosure Tonight, and I am so happy to be here at the crossroads to see which way you're going to go. Share this show, y'all. Share this show. This proves everything I said was right on the money. And here, oh my God. So a lesson was learned, though. I'll own my own shit. I'm going to hold you to that. And people can fight for themselves. I could kick myself, and I could kick myself that I was played like that. You have every right to hate me and not talk to me or email me back, but please know that someone has the proof to back you up. I just have to find a way of doing it. It's really easy. It's really, really easy, Gary. Be honest. It's not fun. You're going to get a lot of hate mail. You're going to get a lot of hatred sent at you. But welcome to the party, pal. And guess what? We need you. We need people like you to come out and show the rest of what you got. Because holy cow, I've only got one little snippet. One little snippet. So he also sent me an email the same day, right after this, and says, and just to prove that I'm not bullshitting you, here's a clip from before. We went live on March 11th, 2022. It's saved as March 12th as I'm in the UK and it was after midnight. Please don't share this yet, of course, but I want to show you that I have a lot more. I'm not going to share the whole thing, but I'm going to share the very last part of it because it has directly to do with me. So this interview right here is the interview heard round the world. This is the interview where we found out Lou Elizondo had sock puppet accounts, or that was inferred. He never answered no. He just used an analogy and compared Rather's mom to a hooker. This was the show that was clipped and basically ended our relationship as far as access to Lou Elizondo. Thank you, Greg O'Brien, for the $3.33 donation. And Greg, if you want to hit me up right now on Twitter, if you want to get on this show, if you have anything to say about the Thomas Fessler channel that could add to this email, line's open for you, buddy. We'd love to hear from you. Just let me know, and I'll send you a link where you could join me. So this is the show that basically killed UCR. This was March 18th of 2022. Krang, I don't know, man. Not really. I think a lot of those old cases are just misunderstandings and bad sightings and not enough data. It was the show I realized I was being used. Yes, Tony Mahoney. That's exactly what this was. Now, I had said privately, and I had felt privately, that Sean Cahill did not like me. He unfollowed me on Twitter. He made me unfollow his account. And you could do that from your end on Twitter, which I found strange. Privately, though, he was friendly enough, but it was a cold friendly. I just knew he didn't like me. I just had the feeling. And so this is March 18th. On March 11th, a full week before my show, Lou Elizondo went onto Thomas Fessler's channel, and I was super confused by that. Because at the time, Thomas Fessler had said some pretty nasty things about Lou Elizondo. And to see Sean Cahill and Lou Elizondo on this show, it was just weird. For me, it was weird. I had emailed Lou, hey man, be careful with this guy. He's not a good guy. I put a clips together for him and showed him what he had said about Lou Elizondo on Goofon's channel, as they're high-fiving each other, talking about Linda Moulton Howe's private areas. This guy is really, really, really a scumbag. Oh, wait, let me show you what I'm seeing so you guys see. Okay, there we go. So this is the show from March 11th. All right. So this is a week before my show. Now, let me go ahead and bring this up and take this off and take this off. So this is a behind the scenes video and I'm not going to play the whole thing because I'm going to try and respect his wishes as best as I can. But I am going to play, and as you can see, I'll scrub through this This is Thomas Fessler on the bottom right. He's setting up his channel just like I do on the same software, which is OBS. And thank you for the donation, Eventide. It was one of the most outstandingly awkward things I ever caught on camera. It was amazing. Ha ha ha. I just sat there with my mouth open. Wait, what are you talking about, Eventide? What are you talking about, Eventide? Did Greg O'Brien respond? No, not yet. Let's see if he hit me up on Twitter. Okay, no, not yet. Let's see if he hits. Oh, well, you know what? It could be because he might be hitting up my other account. Let me just see real quick. So if I could get Greg O'Brien's version of any of this stuff, that would be interesting. Nope, he hasn't hit me up yet. Okay. So, see? So again, so just to prove that this is, you know, pre-show, you know, he's setting up the OBS. He's making sure all of his windows are in the right place. And everybody's just kind of sitting there bullshitting. And they're talking about the harassment that Lou Elizondo's been getting, right? And again, this is sort of the same conversation I was having pre-show 7 days later. So it's interesting that we were having similar discussions in the pre-show. So this is the last, I don't know, 14 seconds of the of this pre-show clip. But listen to what Sean Cahill has to say about my show. No, I'm not playing. Hold on one second, guys. So for some reason, that stopped playing. Let me just switch this window here real quick. Oopsie. Okay. So make this bigger. All right. So again, let me play this. Hopefully this will play this time. Interesting. Quit this. Very, very interesting that it's not playing right now. All right, let me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to completely let's just do a display capture. Maybe that'll be better.
Yeah,
there we go.
It'll be fine. We'll get there. Could be worse. Even got an intro I wrote.
Could be worse. We could be on UCR.
Oh, the shade.
Shots fired.
So that's Sean Cahill saying, well, things could be worse. We could be on UCR.
Could be worse. Even got an intro I wrote.
Could be worse. We could be on UCR.
Oh, the
No, wait a second. You guys can't even see it. All right, hold on a second. Greg, you have nothing to add to this? Come on now, Greg. I'm sure you have something to add to this, man. Right? Like, come on. I'm sure you have something to add to this. I'm sure there's something. All of a sudden, it got real quiet. Got real quiet. Let's see here. All right, let's play it again. So this way you guys know. Again, this is the video here. You know, this is it scrubbed right here.
There could be worse. Even got an intro I wrote.
Could be worse. We could be on UCR.
Oh, the shade.
Oh, everybody loved
Shots
that
fired.
joke. Again, this is 11 days. 11 days before we have that interview with Lou Elizondo. So already before he goes into that interview, they don't like me. Like everything that I've done and that I've said leading up to that. And I know that there was a couple of things, you know, like I was questioning the all sorts of stuff at that point. And they didn't like it, especially when it came to the Calvine UFO and things like that. Like they just didn't like that I was speaking up against the stuff that was really bad evidence, and that I was confused as to why they're saying one thing on Linda Moulton Howe versus one thing on my show versus one thing on Toe versus one thing on Thomas Fessler. Like these were things that I was kind of complaining about privately and going, what the hell? Like this is a complete contradiction of everything that you guys were saying publicly and to me. Like, just straight up. This email is pretty damning, man. It's a pretty damning email. Like, this confession right here tells me everything I need to know about what's going on with Thomas Fessler, how our Rather got doxxed, who was behind the attacks of my show. Here it is, right here. Right here. I mean, what's your favorite part of this? Well, all of a sudden, we got 156 people in here. In case you missed it, we've got an email from Ack saying things like he heard a couple of calls between Rob and Lou Elizondo. They didn't know he was there. And they were on a mission to bring down various YouTube channels. I wonder what channels. I wonder what channels they were on a mission to bring down. It was at this point I lost faith in Lou and realized that I had been a pawn in his game. Listen to this, man. You will notice that we separated as far as Rob from possible. Rob Heatherly, he was looking up people, calling local authorities, and asking Lou to gather information on you all. I can't be around for that shit. To me, that is the most damning sentence of this. Looking people up and calling local authorities. So they're looking for anything to discredit a debunker. Anything. Including mistakes when you were a dumb 20-year-old kid, like they did with Stephen Greenstreet. Like they did with John Greenwald when he was wearing a Nazi uniform for a History Channel show. They clipped that picture and then put a lie with it, and then boom, John Greenwald for the rest of his life has now got to fight rumors about that bullshit. This is the stuff they do. And what's wild is Lou never asked me to do this shit. Ever. As a matter of fact, I told him behind the scenes, why aren't you honest with who these people are? Tell everybody. Tell everyone. So everybody knows who they are and who to look out for. Instead, he just does it behind the scenes. Thomas Fessler has the worst channel. I was just over there. He had like 200 something people on his show. I wonder if the 200 something people of his show know that he's working with Lou Elizondo and Rob Heatherly, or did at some point, until the information didn't work in his favor. And then all of a sudden he grew a conscience and made a stand. I guarantee you, if there's a split between Lou Elizondo and Thomas Fessler, it's because Thomas Fessler didn't get what he was looking for. And so then he turns. That's what Fessler does. He does it to everyone. Every single person. He goes on their shows. He did it to Alien Girl. He did it to Josh and Artemis. He did it to Goof On. He tried to do it to me. I never once had that that piece of garbage on my show. Never once. He did it to Lou Elizondo. He did it to Rob Heatherly. He sucks everything that he could use out of you. And the second you can't give him what he wants, he talks shit about you. Unreal. This is not just a battle of YouTubers. This is YouTube hosts working on behalf of Lou Elizondo to dox, call local authorities, and look up information on people so they could discredit them through sock puppet accounts. And if he's doing this with Thomas Fessler, he's definitely that hatred of my show from Sean Cahill that I just played for you, guarantee you that was the same hatred and message that was sent to that UFO podcast. I guarantee you it eventually trickled down to Ryan Sprague. It trickled down to all of those UK guys. It trickled down to Sean Rash and UFO Joe and UAP Mike, because I know UAP Mike and Sean Cahill talk very frequently. Now we know. Now we know. The picture's becoming clearer and clearer every day, how they disseminate who to target and for what reasons. Forget the reasons. Just find whatever you can on this person, this person, and this person, and let's destroy their show. Let's destroy the message they're trying to spread. Let's discredit them as much as we can, no matter what it takes. Spared no expense. Go for it. I mean, for God's sakes, Dan Zetterstrom doxed Rather. Did Lou Elizondo tell him to do that? That's a genuine question. And that's not far-fetched. This is why that UFO podcast gets access to Jeremy Corbell and Lou Elizondo and Tim Burchett and all of these people that come on their show. They don't want to rock the financial boat that they are making. And trust me when I tell you, it's well over $100,000 a year that UFO podcast is raking in. And if I'm wrong, show us your statistics. Show us. That's why I made a big deal about it back in September. In August. That's why I made a big deal about it. Because the protection of that money influences what kind of questions they ask or don't ask. It influences how much pushback they give versus how much pushback they don't give. Because the more pushback they give, the second they start getting attacked by a Cahill behind the scenes. Ask one hard question. I dare you, that UFO podcast. I dare you to push back one time. You're the weakest when it comes to asking questions, Andy McGrillen and Dan Zetterstrom. The weakest show. And you guys are setting the precedent for this because you're given the access to it, because you play ball. Just like Thomas Fessler. Who are you, LR? That's hilarious. It's probably Thomas Fessler. I mean, I want the IG and Senator Gillibrand to investigate this, Chris Bartell. I mean, he says looking up people, calling local authorities with no probable cause, no authority, doxing, harassing, intimidating individuals over UFOs. Yeah, that's not going to end well. That's walking a line. Unreal. I don't dox anybody, dude. I don't tell anybody to go after anybody. I don't attack anybody based off their looks or what their opinions on UFOs. That I maybe attack. But the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, any of those things, do I look up criminal histories on people? No, absolutely not. Am I given those things sometimes? Yeah. Do I talk about them after they're already public? Yeah. How am I doxing this? This is my email. This is a message I got in my email. I want to share it, so I'm sharing it. Read your last chat here. Really, let's see here. Oh my God, Lou Elizondo has passed away. I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened. I think we would have heard about that. Means of Sadger. So you want to know that it was disclosure tonight, if that's who you're looking for, as far as what channel this came from. I did not think I was going to be getting this email today, even though I got it last September. I wonder if Thomas is watching right now. You watching, Thomas? Does this throw a wrench in your show? In your access? I wonder. Just going to leave this up here, man. This is crazy. Rob is long gone from the Fessler show. I wonder why. Maybe we can hear that story now. Maybe Thomas will actually start telling the truth about the things he knows, because I have a feeling he knows a lot. I have a feeling he knows a lot, you guys. So ask him. Ask him what he knows. Ask him who Richard Budd is, because I know he knows that. I know Rob Heatherly knows the answer to that question. And again, why is a supposed naval officer or naval employee helping dox people on UFO Twitter? Through Rob Heatherly and Thomas Fessler. Renee, I love you to death too, but let Thomas answer these questions for once in his life. Let him sit on a hot seat for once in his life. And let's see what he says. I have a feeling he pulls a Corbell and doesn't address this at all. We'll see. We'll see. Man, oh man, oh man. The things that these people are doing to shut up people that are simply asking questions. That's all we did, was ask questions and push back when stuff didn't make sense. That's why we got death threats. That's why we had Rob Heatherly looking into my criminal past and calling up local authorities to see what they could find on me, even though I haven't. The biggest, most egregious thing you'll find on me is a parking ticket. I've been as transparent with you and my audience more than any other YouTuber possibly anywhere. Forget about just UFO Twitter. I've given you my real name. I've given you my real occupation. I've shown you how much money I make. I've been honest with you guys when it comes to when I was being used and harassed and doxxed and blackmailed for public apologies. And now here we have an email from the producer of the show that was helping do it, from guys who claim they have nothing to do with that kind of behavior. Boy, does that go against the pinned tweet on Lou Elizondo's Twitter page. I wonder what else they were saying about my show behind the scenes before they came on and compared Rather's mom to a hooker for an analogy on a question that you didn't even answer properly. Still think I'm lying? Still think I'm overreacting? Still think I didn't have good reason to say and do what I did? If you do, that's on you. Because the proof's in the pudding. I just showed it to you multiple times. The last 4 shows, I think, have laid a pretty good picture that this is just OSAP 4.0, whatever version of it we want to call it. And I cannot wait for this hearing on July 26th. We're going to be here bright and early. We'll probably start the show about 15-20 minutes before it gets rolling. Maybe not that early. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Because I know these things usually start late. Thin Lizzie Borden, hello, welcome to the show. Yeah, man. It's I think the next couple days are going to be very interesting for me. I don't like when people lie to me. I don't like when people try to threaten me. And I don't like when people spread lies about me. I don't take too kindly to that kind of stuff. And I don't take too kindly when you do it to my friends. And there's more information coming in on you guys almost every day now at this point. So I'm interested to see. Interested to see what happens here in the next few days. I'm getting messages left and right. Oh, you know what I'm going to do here real quick? Excuse me 1 second. So, I got... Oh, I don't want to put that up. Man, oopsies. Anyway, I got a really cool package in the mail. I wanted to open it live and do an unboxing. This is from Estimate of the Situation. And he sent a really nice letter with it. He says, Lou, I hope this can reignite your curiosity and help remind you of the reason why we are all here. Estimate of the Situation. That's very kind, man. Thank you so much. What a... After today's show, like, you could see, like, there's some good people out there. There's some well-intentioned people that I think genuinely do have questions, and they're curious, and they see what I'm doing, and they're believers. And part of them, I think, agrees with me. Part of them sees what's happening, but they're just holding on to that religion, that faith, that hope that I'm wrong and that they're right. And I don't think anything will ever reignite my curiosity in this field, short of them showing up and actually coming. Oh man, I don't even want to open this. So this is so cool. So it's sent in a top secret folder, and it's got a really cool sticker on the back. It says top secret. This is so awesome. I'm going to try and be as careful with this as possible and not ruin this sticker. Oh man, this is this is perfect. I don't want to open this. I don't want to open this, man. I don't want to tear this open. Screw it. I said I was going to open it, right? This is so cool. Okay, so here we go. Well, at least it didn't ruin the sticker by doing it that way. All right. All right, this I'm going to keep in the sleeve. Wow. So here's the. So that when you purchase this comic book, Estimate of the Situation, which was sent to me by Chasowski. Man, this is so cool. I'm not going to open this. I'm going to leave it just as is, but it's got a little thank you card that says, "Thank you for purchasing." And I can't see because there's a sticker of it, but Estimate of the Situation. We appreciate your support and hope you enjoy this ridiculously researched exploration into the field of the UFO phenomena. 50% of your purchase goes directly to the National UFO Historical Record Center and their efforts to preserve the documentation associated with this history. Please tag us on Twitter and let us know what you think. Bonus points if you post a screenshot of our issue. We are all small operation and need all the help we can get in getting the word out there. Hashtag UFO Twitter. So I've done you one even better. Go check out this comic book, guys. This looks pretty cool. And man, I don't want to open this. I wonder if there's a digital version I could buy. But yeah, this is cool. And I've seen the the artwork for this, and I know he worked on this for a really, really, really long time. And the presentation is beautiful. The quality of this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Even if you have fallen out of love with this topic, maybe this is something that could reignite just my fantasy aspect of it. The just tickle that science fiction sort of need. But this is so cool. Thank you so very much. I'm gonna keep this in a very special place, so I appreciate it. You guys, that's basically the show today. I'm interested to see what happens after this show. Let me see something here. Hold on a second. Why am I? Oh boy, oh boy. Let me do this. Oh boy, man, this has just been a absolutely crazy day. What a crazy day. Let me get some new tunes on. I'm going to read some of your comments, guys, and then we're going to get out of here. But this was a good Saturday show. I had a ton of fun. So thank you guys again for being here. The show's nothing without you guys. That is for sure. And I'm just like, whoa, that was loud. I'm just happy that that little by little, day by day, I'm not looking as crazy as people made me feel. That feels good. That feels good. That, that these guys are having their feet held to the fire. I don't subscribe to those kind of ad hominem attacks. I don't have any proof of that. Yeah, it's just, sure, it rhymes, but it's not that clever. I mean, it's just simple as this. Fessler is a doxer. He's a harasser. He helps facilitate chaos within UFO Twitter. He's lazy. He doesn't do his research. He steals ideas. He uses people. Those are all better descriptives of Thomas Fessler than that word. Stone Apex says, I love my Estimate of the Situation comic. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. It looks really great. Bob Stan, thank you for being here. False Garon, thank you for being here. We have to remember that there are a lot of mentally ill people on this topic, without a doubt. Without a doubt. There definitely is. LR says that Heatherly had a playlist of. I said this the other day. LR, who are you? Interesting. Heatherly had a playlist on his YouTube that was just videos of young girls. He made the list private when people pointed it out. I have a feeling LR is now passing hate on to Rob Heatherly for some reason. Interesting. Very interesting, LR. Just a second ago, you were insulting me. Anyway. You guys, if you love the show, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about this one, especially the ones that are really, really connected to UFO Twitter. Hashtag UFO Twitter. There's a lot of questions that are going to come out of this show. A lot of questions that Thomas Fessler should answer. A lot of questions that Rob Heatherly should answer. A lot of questions that Gary Ack should answer. A lot of questions that Sean Cahill should answer. And if you guys have anything out there that you want to share with me that would help uncover this kind of stuff, email me or hit me up at I'll definitely be checking my bigphonehome@gmail email from now on, that is for sure. Or hit me up on Twitter. If you got a DM for me, just say, hey, I want to DM you something, and I'll make it happen. Yeah. Man, yeah, there's some interesting messages I'm getting here too, so we'll go through the messages that come in, and do what Renee says. Kindly and gently push the like, sub, share, save buttons, and please, Renee, I don't have any merch. There's no merch here. No merch here. No paywalls, no merch. Just the Patreon and donations if you guys want to do that. So appreciate it. I heard Gates saw the real deal. He definitely didn't. Lou, I think Steve knew about this a while ago. I think Gary was on Truth Seekers. Really? Interesting. Maybe I'll look up that episode, because yeah, I don't remember seeing this email or this kind of admission to Gary connected to Lou Elizondo and recordings and things like that. That's the first time I've heard of it. So if I'm old to this, if I'm late to the party, sorry, you know. I guess I just missed it. I mean, I could have put, man, how much better if I had read this in September. That would have done me way more. That would have helped way more. way more. Man, I wish I had read that in September. Might be a different channel today. Anyway, you guys have a killer rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we've got a big week of shows coming up. Wednesday we'll be talking and doing a live stream and pausing and talking about the hearing and things said in the hearing, so it'll be a fun, probably pretty long stream with Rather Be Squidding. So hit that bell, you're not going to want to miss it. Also, we've got a discussion coming up with Jack Brewer. We got a really big guest that I haven't announced yet on August 1st. So again, hit the bell. Make sure that you guys don't miss a show. Jack Brewer show's next Saturday. So yeah, we've got a lot of interesting stuff coming, guys. We'll see you soon. Have a killer night. Peace, y'all. I'll let the tunes play for a little bit. If you guys have any questions for me, throw them out there right now, and I'll be reading questions and answering whatever questions you guys have. Oh, well, I'll lower the music a little bit. Again, if you guys have questions, I'm going to let this whole song play. Play the whole song. Play, blah, 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 blah. Questions, let me know. Long live the neck. Agreed. Storks. Storks, Greg O'Brien.